These battery cells out, and so I've got a bunch of them in parallel, so I'm charging all these cells up at 3.7 volts at the moment, and I think I've got a good combination, so that if you notice I've got certain cells staggered so that we should have a more equal charge, should be more balanced. I've got these actually in status. These are just self-balancing, as in batteries that are higher voltage than others, equalising. So I'm basically just equalising these so that when we come to charge them, I can charge them up. Then we can do I'll basically wire all these packs in series with each other. Then I'll discharge them on a load. Well, I'll discharge them with this probably, my AccuCell, and then I'll find out how many amp hours we get out of them. And while I was doing this, I was thinking, because I seem to be getting back into batteries a bit at the moment, and I went and looked at my playlist for when I actually built that solar battery. Well, when I built this unit, which has got a whole bunch of cells in it, and there's another one actually which is in dismembered status right now. It's actually up there. I don't know if you remember it. That thing, which I don't even use. It's not even wired up. It's there's batteries in it, but it's not in use. They're all disconnected, by the way. Anyway, I was sitting there thinking it might be a good idea, because I like these battery boxes they're really cool and handy for shuffling cells around. And when I actually built these battery boxes, I didn't have a 3D printer, right? So I built this great big massive one, right, which has got loads and loads of cells in it. And 8 years ago, hard to believe. It's hard to believe that I actually built this thing 8 years ago. Now, I'm going to tell you the backstory on it. When I originally built this, I used a load of laptop batteries, which were recycled ones, and it's been going great for 8 years, right? But there's developed a problem. The problem is that some of the cells in it are weak, and I didn't get it, but it wants rebalancing basically, so I've got to take it apart. Now, the other thing is that when I built those battery boxes, it was not possible to buy battery balance circuits on eBay because they weren't available. But ever since then, we've seen a huge surge in these things. I mean, I could have probably built one myself, but they're very complicated actually. And obviously we didn't have these balancing circuits, so what I had to do was add this thing on separate, which is plugged into the balance leads, which don't carry much current. The balance leads are plugged into both this battery and this big battery, which are in parallel actually, because this is what these leads coming out are. These are the balance leads. So this lead goes to a junction up here somewhere. You can't really see it, but it's a split off, a Y junction, and it balances both those packs out, right, so that they're equalised. And I was sitting here thinking to myself, it might be a good idea actually to strip the big battery box down, take all the cells out, and design a better one that's more with an integrated balance circuit, because the integrated balance circuit is much more efficient at balancing the cells, because you don't have long wires, so you get less voltage drop across the longer wires. And obviously I bought this one for the 24 volt. This is the one I've got for the 24 volt battery pack, which I'm building for the uninterrupted power supply. So I'm building that one at the moment. But what I do plan to do is when I get that sorted, I'm going to 3D print some stackable cages so I can put all these cells and stack them inside a cage which will fit basically with the same size as something like one of these batteries or two of these batteries, and then I can just slide the whole unit into this UPS. So I was just sat here and I was just thinking, well, I'm not getting the maximum benefit from the solar battery that's on the windowsill right now, because some of the cells on the end are slightly weak. So I noticed a differential when I actually put charge current on the solar battery, that some of the cells actually rise faster than other cells, which means they're weak, they've got higher impedance. And also when I put a load on it, the ones that go higher also drop lower. So we definitely have to take that battery box, the one on the windowsill, we have to take it apart. I'm not going to do it yet, but I actually sealed it with fireproof retardant resin material, and I was thinking about, well, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare getting that thing apart. And I remembered something. Well, when I actually put that in there, it was wrapped in a fire blanket, and that's a good thing, because that means that I can safely well, that fire retardant material is just on the outside of fireproof, the blanket, you see. So it will be fairly easy to actually cut the plastic case away and peel off the fire retardant material from the outside, because it's like a big cup. The batteries are sitting inside this fire retardant material all the way around, and it'll also be a good thing to test, to look at how well it actually went in, isn't it, when I actually made that over 8 years ago. So yeah, eventually I'm going to take the whole thing apart. I'm going to take all the cells out. I'm going to strip all the tabs off, which is what I did to these batteries, by the way. So when you do them, what you do is you get your pliers. Let me just grab one of these. What you do is you get your pliers and you just pull the tabs off, and then you just get a file and file the little rivet things, the spot welds, off. Did that on the bottom one as well. Don't know if you can see it very well. So you just basically file them out down a bit, just to pop the spot welded on. So I removed all the tabs, cleaned up these batteries, these cells. I've got an extra 2 here, which are spare ones. Oh, I must remember to point the camera. So anyway, so that's what I'm going to be doing, probably, I don't know, later on in the year probably. So, obviously I've got to save up some money and buy some of these battery boxes. I'm going to need a lot of them freaking things. But it's not doing a lot of good right now, isn't that solar battery? It's still running stuff, but I can't put much of a load on it because it swings too much. And I've got to keep it in its mid-range charge rate, otherwise it tends to... yeah, you could get a problem where some of the cells get seriously damaged if you get too low, and I've got to keep an eye on it anyway. I suspect that one of the cells in that battery pack might have vented. I'm not saying it has, I'm just saying I suspect it might have, or it's just got really, really weak, because some of the cells, I've seen a bit of a swing on the voltage quite a bit, and it's I'm not happy about it. That's another reason why I need to strip it apart and rebuild it, you know, weed out all the weak stuff and basically get rid of the weak cells which are no longer doing a great job. But just bear in mind that that thing, when I built it, it's been running for 8 years. It hasn't obviously provided a lot of current, but I mean, it's helped keep my little things going. I mean, I plug this lead which runs off it into my soldering iron. It can run my soldering iron. It can run my light, which is over there. It can do for. It's handy there if there's a power cut. If there's no power, for example, it would run my LED lights for a few days actually. So yeah, but yeah, I want to rebuild it anyway. So. But I'm not rushing, because I've got this thing to do first. I've got this 24 volt battery pack to build first, so I've got plenty of other things to do. The actual one I built on the windowsill, the big one, is actually got it's got fuse on it, and it's also got temperature monitoring built into it, so that we can actually see what the temperature inside is. So there's the temperature, 15.1 centigrade. So it's pretty cold. It's very cold. If it started to get really hot, I know something was seriously wrong, but obviously it doesn't. It's internally monitored, so we can keep an eye on the temperatures. Anyway, just wanted to update you. As I said, there's a playlist link in the description, so you can go and look at that battery build I started doing 8 years ago. You might find it interesting. I'll probably have to go and re-watch it myself, actually, because I want to remember exactly where things are when I potted them with that fireproof material. I want to remember exactly where things are, so when I start cutting the thing apart, I don't accidentally cut through wires and stuff. You know what I mean? We don't want any short circuits, do we? And I pretty much remember where stuff is, but yeah, I want to be more precise. I'll probably print some out with some little arrows and circles where wires are, so that when I actually do start dismantle, it might actually be even easier to dismantle it from the bottom up. Turn it upside down, and then because there's no wires stuck out the bottom, you see, so it would be a lot easier to simply dismember it or dismantle it from the base towards the top. Safer to do it that way. So I might even do that. But anyway, that's for another day. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the update. Thanks a lot, and Merry Christmas, everybody. It's the 23rd. It's 23rd today, so it's Christmas Eve tomorrow. Bye for now.